Hello and welcome to the Year 3 curriculum meeting. Obviously, due to COVID this year, we cannot have it like we normally do, where we invite you into the school. So we're going to be talking a little bit about what happened across Year 3, both myself and Miss Stanley. We're going to be talking a little bit about new routines and a bit about the curriculum and just things that we have in place this year. So, as you can see, my name is Miss Preston. I am the class teacher of Rainbow. Mrs. Rue is the teaching assistant, and other adults who help at lunchtime are Mrs. O'Brien and Mrs. Escott. Sometimes there may be other adults who come in to look after the class if I'm doing learning or on my PPA outside the class, but these are the main adults that your children see every day.
Hello, so I am Miss Stanley. I'm the class teacher. My LSA is Mrs. Goga. She's in the classroom with myself at all times. And Miss Garrity and Mrs. Goga are our lunchtime staff. So coming into school, both Otter class and Rainbow class will walk up the ramp. Otter class will come into our classroom door and Rainbow class will go into the ramp door. Both classes will be collected from the ramp. Your child must be collected by a parent or someone that is on the list. If there is someone that you've not told the office that will be collecting your child, you need to make sure you ring them. Otherwise, we'll have to get in contact with you before we allow them to leave.
So there are many things that we've had to put in place because of COVID. One major thing is hand washing, which I'm sure the children have told you that they are washing their hands many times throughout the day. Both of our classes do not have a sink in the classroom. So our children, they line up and they go and use the toilets, which are closest to them. Both classes have the taps and all of any contact points cleaned in between the two classes. And as much as possible, we are washing our hands when we're sharing items throughout the day, before we go to break, when we come back from lunch, just at lots of different points, as you can see. We're also really lucky to have antibacterial hand gel in the class, and we ask that you don't bring in any. The hand gel that we have has been approved for use in the school, and if any children do bring it in, then we will look after it for them and return it to you at the end of the day. Something else that we are doing, every child has their own pack of resources, and as much as possible, the children are not really sharing resources. They've got their own glue, pencils, etc. And if there are any resources throughout the day that the children need to share, as much as possible, these are cleaned or left so that the 72-hour period is observed. Because the children have their lunches inside the class, the tables are cleaned before they have their lunch and after they have their lunch, because obviously they've been putting their hands near their mouths. As well as this, the classrooms have been laid out in a way to government recommendations so that almost all the children are facing the front. We have made some alterations to this where we have tried to create a bit more of a classroom environment, and instead of having children in seats of twos, we have more kind of L-shaped and U-shaped, so that the children are still facing the front, but it's a little bit more kind of communal and with a community in there.
So in regard to PE days, for Rainbow class, the PE days are Monday and Friday, and for Otter class, they are Wednesday and Friday. We have the hall slots on a Monday for Rainbow class and a Wednesday for Otter class. Unfortunately, if it is raining on a Friday, then we aren't able to do PE. However, we do ask that children do come in PE kit just in case it does brighten up throughout the day. So on PE days, we ask children to come into school in their PE kit. So this includes a house-coloured t-shirt, black shorts or tracksuit bottoms, a plain jumper and trainers. So as it says on the bottom, we will be outside where possible, so please wear suitable clothing. If it's cold, put a jumper on and so on.
So as you may have already noticed, we've uploaded home learning to Google Classroom. Thank you to those who've already contacted and said there was a bit of an issue with viewing it. So for those children who may need to stay at home because of self-isolation, every week we're going to be uploading a maths activity to complete every day, a writing activity to complete every day, and another area of the curriculum. So that could be science, music, art, etc. The learning will reflect what we've been doing in class, and will be usually learning that they've completed the week before, just so they can consolidate what they've done. We will not be feedbacking onto Google Classroom, and children will not have the ability to post anything, as in comments or anything. It will just be the ability to upload any learning that they do. With regards to home learning, as much as possible, we're encouraging you to submit your home learning online. That's just one less contact point for the adults in the school to be in contact with. The children can access Numbots, and we will be giving back out their logins just in case they've forgotten them. On the home learning, it does have a due date. The expectation is that the children try and complete one activity from the bingo sheet that's on the second page of the home learning every week. And there are phonics activities and maths suggestions and a whole bunch of different things that they can have a go at. Many of you may have seen that we're not posting onto Twitter. So instead of using Twitter, we're going to be using the Google Classroom stream to post about the different things that we've been doing in class. It just makes it a little bit easier because the children can see Google Classroom, we can put it up on the screen, and it just makes it a bit more user-friendly for the children to use.
So sadly, we're unable to take the children on school trips this term. Of course, we are continuously monitoring this situation, and as soon as it's safe to do so, we will resume normal practice. But for now, very sadly, we're not able to do any school trips. So in terms of writing, we are following a program by Hearts for Learning, which provides focused English plans. So right now, the Year 3 classes have just finished the book, The Paper Bag Princess, and they've been thoroughly engaged and enjoyed completing that. So these plans just encourage children to really dive into their writing by using engaging books to stimulate them. This also just gives the children opportunities to write through many areas of curriculum, and has a broad range of different focuses, such as grammar, for example.
So with our maths, we have been given a recovery curriculum for maths, which means that not only are they learning Year 3, they are working on a back on track system, which helps them recover what they've missed in Year 2. And we follow the Hearts Maths Essentials, which really kind of streamlines exactly what they need to recap and what we need to input and give them. As well as that, we are doing Maths Fluency, which is daily kind of practice where we look at work we've already done and sometimes work at what we're going to do. And this really helps the children become really fluent and really confident in the skills that they've been using in maths. A lot of the Maths Essentials revolves around gaming. And like I said earlier, on the distance learning, there will be some maths to complete every day, and some of that will be games, because it's been proven that children can really apply their math skill, not just by writing out lots of numbers, but by playing games and seeing the practical applications of it as well.
So with spelling and phonics, so our spelling and phonics sessions are daily. They are 15-minute sessions. We follow the phonics and spelling patterns, and this links to the Year 3 and 4 spellings, which you can see on the right-hand side of the screen. So throughout the year, these are words that we are going to focus on. So hopefully by the end of this year, all pupils will be confident in spelling them. So So on the screen are some spelling lesson examples. So for example, how can I put this word from our phoneme spotter into the phoneme frame? And pupils will be given a minute or so to input this onto their phoneme frame, and we'll go through the children, through the examples of the children. And another example, where would I put the sound buttons? Let's read the word. So it really gets pupils to focus on the individual sounds in that word.
So in reading in year 3, we have got 3 weekly whole class lessons. We don't do guided reading groups because often children miss out on being exposed to higher quality pieces of text. So we do whole class lessons. One of our sessions is both based around vocabulary building and getting to know the text. Another session is about reading out loud and how we read texts, expression and inflections in the voice, etc. And finally, the last session is usually around comprehension skills. And throughout the half term, every week we're focusing on different comprehension skills. That could be inference, summarizing, comparing. And we try and put this as a focus for the questions for session 3. Every day we do a daily reading of our class reader, and this is an appropriate year 3 text. Sometimes we might pick something a little bit more challenging, but we're always asking the children questions on what they think is happening, main characters, etc. As much as possible, every child reads at least once a week with a member of staff. Obviously, we try and do that more. We're doing this in a safe way where we're not in close contact with the child for too long, and the children and the adult that they're reading with is sitting in a spacious area. We're also really lucky that we get time to have reading conversations with children, and this means that we can really get to know how the children read, what they enjoy about reading, any books they enjoy, and how their skills have progressed as readers. So at home, we expect children to be reading daily to an adult and having an adult read to them. This doesn't have to be any longer than 10 minutes, but that reading every day will really help children be able to apply their reading skills in so many other areas of the curriculum. Another thing to do with our readings, we have our reading journals, which it's been really lovely to see so much shared from them already. The intention is that we share them weekly. However, as much as possible, if the children could bring their reading journal in every day, because the days that we share them might change depending on how the timetables for the class are. Every week, the expectation is that children complete 1 task from the bingo sheet. And if children cannot complete it at home, then obviously we can give them an opportunity to complete it in school. If that's still not completed, even after children have been given the opportunity, they may need to complete it in a lunchtime or a break time. We can provide pieces of paper for them to complete it on if you do not have paper at home. But the reading journals are there to really get the children excited about what they're reading and think about doing tasks around it more than just answering questions. So our curriculum map should be going up onto the website soon, and it just has a little overview of what we're covering in all the different areas of the curriculum. Many of the things we've already discussed already, but yeah, it's just an overview of the different things and what we hope to achieve across autumn in year 3.
So the knowledge organisers, these will be sent home this week. These are just to tell you information about what we're doing for certain subjects in school, and these will just support you if you did want to do anything at home with the children. They'll just guide you, and it's nice to just keep reflecting on with your children throughout the autumn term. So, important dates. So, this week we will be having reading conversations with the children. So, this is a really nice time where we'll get to know how well your children read, what books they enjoy reading, whether they read at home, and how we can support them further with their reading. So, that's a really nice bit of time to spend with them to just get to know them in that aspect. The week beginning of the 26th of October 2020 is half term, and the week beginning the 23rd of November are our parent consultations, parents' evenings.
So finally, obviously most queries about learning or anything like that you've got, please email either myself, cpreston@leeson.education, or Miss Stanley, lstanley@leeson.education. And we will try as much as possible to accommodate any questions you have. But yeah, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.